Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. So today's review is super exciting because we are going to be talking all about the latest addition to the legendary Diversa collection from Oden'S. This is the Hela palette in collaboration with Angelica, and when I saw that they were going to be collabing, I just could not think of a better match. I feel like we all saw this coming, right? This is seriously such a perfect collab. This palette is seriously so beautiful as well. So I have 3 looks for you guys today, and I'm also going to share my thoughts on the palette as well, show you some swatches along with that. So with that being said, if you guys are curious about this palette, everything you need to know, we'll talk about today. So let's go ahead and hop right into the review. Alright, so I am pre-filming, so I'm gonna have to leave all of the product info with the pricing and the launch time and everything like that in my description box. I believe it's launching on Valentine's Day, but I'll leave all that info in my description and also on the screen right here, because as of right now I don't know those details. But what I can show you is the package, everything. I'll show you from start till finish. So this is what the box looks like if you order her palette. It comes in a cutie green box. Everything is monochromatic. I love that. You have the artwork on top here as well. What I also love about Oden'S is that they package all their items in heart-shaped bubble wrap, and it's also pink, so it will come with this as well. I know it's such a random detail, but it's a detail that I love, and I just keep this bubble wrap. Like, I never want to use it because it's just so cute. But it will come in this. You'll also get a thank you card as well. It's super pretty. I love these greens. I'll let you guys read the message when you order her palette. And there's also a silk scarf included as well. This is probably going to be a gift with purchase, but this is really cute. It's different from the other scarves that they have came out with in our collection and in previous collections. This is just a long skinny scarf, so it will be easier for you to tie it as a headband or around your neck as a scarf or around your bag on the handle or something. But what's really cool about this scarf is that it's dual-sided, so on one side you get the gray, and then on the other side you get the green. So you have a mixture of both, which is really nice. But of course we have the eyeshadow palette. This is what the outer packaging looks like. It comes in a slip, and as you can see, the artwork design is beautiful. It's stunning. I feel like Oden'S, seriously, they always amaze me with their artwork. There's so many details to this as well. But you can see this artwork on the cover is very great, because what's cool is when you actually take it out of the slip, all of the color is revealed. I think that's such a cute touch. And then you have the actual artwork all in color on the actual packaging, and then you have these shade names on the back as well. So I did want to compare this to their other 16 pans because there are some differences. The actual size is the same, so everything about the size is the same outer-wise, but the texture on the palette is different. So with Oden'S, with our collection and any other palettes, it has more of like a paper texture to it. But with Angelica's palette, they did change it, and it's more of like a soft matte. So there is a difference with that texture there, which makes this palette even more special. And then when we open it, there is a mirror on the inside with her signature there as well. Her palette comes with square pans, and then the other Oden'S palette comes with circle pans. I actually like the look of the square pans because it fills up the space a little bit more. I feel like with the circle, kind of looks a little bit empty. So her pans are a little bit bigger. They do weigh more. But guys, this is the palette. How pretty is this color story? I feel like it's so unique with the greens and the pinks, and truly there is just so much you can do with this palette. I mean, when we saw that Angelica was collabing again, did we expect anything less? Her Kaleidos Club Nebula palette is so beautiful as well, and they're so different from each other. So if you have that palette, they are extremely different. I feel like they would complement each other really well. It is a 16 pan palette. You will get 9 mattes, and the remaining 7 is a mixture of shimmers, metallics, duochromes, and also there's a satin as well. So you really get a good mixture of like textures, but you also get a good variation from transitions to mediums to darks, and that varies within the mattes and the shimmers. Like, she really thought about everything, like every possible like colorway, color story. I think this palette is so well done. I mean, like, again, did I expect anything less? No, I did not. So I want to show you my 3 looks. I'm really excited to see what Angelica is gonna do and her envision with this palette, because with my 3 looks, I'll show you the first one. The first one is very sweet, it's very girly. We played with the pinks a lot. And then the second look is literally the opposite. It's very dark, it's very smoky. And the third look is the look I have on right now, which is the green look, because I had to do a green look look. But as you can see, all three looks, they look so different from each other. You wouldn't think they are from the same palette. All three looks give off a different vibe as well. Just from my three looks alone, you can see the variation and the color stories you can do with this palette. So I can't wait to see what she's gonna do with her palette, because I know the color combos and everything is going to be so pretty. But with that being said, I absolutely love this palette. Everything performed well. I didn't get to use every single shade, but every shade that I did use performed beautifully. You get so many textures in here. Like the metallics are all like above here, and then the bottom three are like the more special textures, you could say. So double-sided, I'll just swatch. We just have to highlight these shades specifically because the flip on these are insane. Like this, I don't know if you call this a multi-chrome or a duochrome. So this first one here is called double-sided, and the one I'm swatching right now is called River. They have such a beautiful flip, and the metallics as well have a lot of micro glitter. So again, you get like a good variation of different textures in the palette, but you also can experiment with different like depths of looks. So whether you want something a little bit on the lighter side or something very dark and smoky and grungy, you definitely can go there with this palette, and the color story is absolutely beautiful. It's unique. I love it. I could not recommend it enough. So a big congrats to Angelica if you are watching this video. This palette is so stunning, girl. It's gonna do so well, and I'm so happy for you. So a big congrats to you. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to say about this palette. Honestly, like nothing bad. This review is short and sweet, but affiliate codes do not work on this palette, but it will work on anything else on the site. So if you want to pick up a couple more things to get free shipping, affiliate codes would work, and I would just recommend using Angelica's code. I do have a code with them as well, obviously, that you can use as well, but I would recommend just using hers because this is her moment, this is her collab. Using her code will definitely support her more. But with that being said, I thought I would just share some of my favorite items from Oden's Eye if you wanted my recommendation. I'm currently wearing their lipstick in the shade Light Peach. It's their Velvet lipstick. One of my favorites, not just from Oden's Eye, just across the board. It's one of my favorite lipsticks to go to. I also love their matte lip stains as well. I love Sweet Peach and Red Apple, and the other one I think is called Apricot Girl, which is really pretty too. I also love their matte blushes. They have satin blushes that I like too, but I like the shade Apricot Girl the most. It's a really nice peachy color, which you guys know I love peaches. They also have this like little brush cleaner, so if you don't have a lot of brushes but you use the same brush for different shadows, you can quickly just run your brush in this, give it a quick clean, and it'll take off that powder, and then you can apply your next shadow without that color transfer. It's a really nice thing just to have. I always keep it on my table here. I also really like their highlighter palettes. I don't use these enough, but they're really beautiful, and I think they're so worth it. The Solemn palette is a little bit more like, you know, wearable, you could say. And then this one is the Alba 2 palette, which has more blues, but it also has some wearable shades as well. It's super pretty. These go on like a dream. And they also have these hair bows. I'm not totally sure if they are still available, but if they do, like, I would recommend these. I wear this all the time. I have the pink one. They have it in some other shades as well. But obviously, if you like this style, it's not for everyone, but I would definitely recommend it. But with that being said, that was my review, my recommendations, everything you need to know that I wanted to share. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the 3 looks. So for the first look, I feel like you guys might not be expecting a look like this from this palette, but I've been wanting to do this strawberry look for a while now, and when I saw the pinks and greens in this palette, I thought it would be the perfect palette to create this look. So here we are. I even did the heart-shaped bangs as well. I think that just adds to the sweetness of this look. So hopping into the palette, I'm going to take the shade Hela, and this is going to be our transition and also our base color. So you can see I'm just packing this onto my lids, and then I'll slowly blend that up into my crease and also towards the outer corners. These just blend out like a dream. Obviously, I love Oden's Eye's formula, so we're also going to take that onto our lower lash line as well, just sweeping that from the outer corner right to the inner corner. Now going into the shade Goddess, I'm going to pack this onto my lid space. This is just going to give our eyes a little bit more depth and definition, so just packing that on first, and then I'll slowly blend that up into the crease, but I'm not going to blend it up too high where I'm overtaking the previous shade. So we're also going to take Goddess onto our lower lash line as well, but this time on a defining brush, and we're going to press that up against our waterline. Next, going into the shade Hellfire, I'm going to use this to highlight my inner corners and then also the inner third of my lower lash. Since we are not really playing with a lot of shimmers, this is just going to bring a little bit of highlight to this look. But now I'm actually going to go ahead and take my brown liquid liner and create my outer wing. I will go in with the shade Suit from the palette, and I'm going to use that to help smudge and smoke out my wing. That's just what I normally do. I think a smoky wing is less harsh. But now I'm actually going to take the Glisten Cosmetics water activated eyeliner. This one is the white one called Milk, and I'm just going to use this to create a little line above my wing. This is just going to be the base color, because right on top of that we are going to take the shade of Venom, which is the true metallic green from the palette, and I'm literally just going to pack that on top of that white eyeliner. And this is a nice way just to add that green to act as the leaves or the stem of the strawberry, but it also gives a little bit of shimmer to the eye look since our look is quite matte. But I'm actually just going to go ahead and take another Glisten Cosmetics eyeliner. This one is Split Peas, it's the green one, and I'm just mixing a bit of the two shades just to get this custom green. And I like to do a flick kind of where my crease is, and then one on my lower lash, and again that will sort of act as the leaves and the stem of the strawberry. But now it's time to apply false lashes. Today I'm wearing the style Forget Me Not from Bold Face Beauty. I actually cut these up because I wanted my lashes to kind of look spiky and sparse, so I cut them up into 4 pieces. I did 2 shorter ones at the outer edge and then 2 of the longer ones at the center, so that way you could see the little pearls, which are going to act as the spots for the strawberry. So these pearls are from Colourpop. I used the smaller size and I just applied 5 all over my lids. But this, you guys, does complete the first look. I know it's super sweet and girly, but I just love how it turned out. This was inspired by Chaeyoung from Twice. I will be posting this look on my Instagram, so if you want to see the inspo pic you can head over there. But I think for the first look we could do something sweet, and definitely for the second and third look we are gonna go a little bit more darker and a little bit more glam. But with that being said, I really do hope you guys enjoyed this final look. I just love how it turned out, so hopefully you guys like it too. So now onto the second look. I feel like this is completely different from the first one. We have something a little bit more smoky, grungy, and darker. So hopping straight into the palette, we're going to go into the shade Wolf. This is going to be the transition, also the base color, just to get the eye look going. So I'm applying that all over my lid, up into my crease, blending that up towards my brow bone and also towards the outer corners. And then I'm also going to sweep that all over my lower lash line as well. Now going into the shade Suit, I'm going to start packing this on to the lid space, and just sort of strictly on the lid space, just to get that intensity, that smokiness, that pigment. And then I'll actually go in with a small blending brush, and I take a mixture of Wolf and Suit, and I'll just literally use windshield wiping motions in my crease to get this blended, so that way there isn't like a strong contrast between the transition and the darker shadow. It's going to have a nice gradual blend into each other. And even though these shadows blend out really well with darker shadows, it just requires a little bit more blending. So just using windshield wiping motions and it'll get blended out in no time. So we're also going to take that onto our lower lash line as well, taking it on a defining brush, and I'm going to press that all over my lower lash line. And again, just taking that very small tapered blending brush and just blending that out. Now going into the shade River, which is the duochrome. It is so pretty, so I had to use it for this look. So I'm literally just applying this all over my lid, but I like to apply it to the center first because that's where the light catches, and then I like to blend it out all over the lid. I like to take it up to the crease as well, so it's just like a little sparkle on our eyes. And I think contrast against the darker shadows, it really pops and you really see those beautiful micro glitters. And then I'm quickly just going to take the M Cosmetics Cosmic Pearl eyeshadow in Luna to highlight my inner corners, and then I'll go in with my black liquid liner to create my my wing, and then taking a matte black eyeshadow to help smudge and smoke that wing out. And then lastly, popping on my false lashes. Today I'm wearing the style Cloud 9 from Doe Lashes. So this, you guys, is the second look completed. We have something a little bit more darker and more smoky, but I love how this look turned out. You can't go wrong with a really deep smoky eye. I think the micro glitters really shimmer through. I think if you were to wear this on a night out, it would look so pretty. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this second look as well. And of course, for the last and final look, I had to do a green eye look because that is the main color of the palette, and I also just wanted to be monochromatic with the palette as well. So hopping right into the shade of Moss, this is going to be our transition shadow. So I'm just going to work that all over my lid, into my crease, up towards my brow bone, also towards the outer corner. This is the base color that you're going to see underneath all of the other greens we're going to place on top. So it's really important to get this blended out right at the beginning, but these shadows again blend out like a dream, so you'll have no issues with this. So we're also going to take that onto our lower lash line as well. I'm just going to sweep that from the outer corner right to the inner corner. Next, I'm going into the shade Decay, and I'm going to focus this mainly at the outer corners of my eyes just to get a little bit of depth going. This is more of like a mid to dark tone, so it's a really great baby step to get that depth and darkness we want at the outer corners. So just using stamping motions to get the pigment, and then using more circular motions to get that blended out. And then I'm also just going to use that same fluffy brush and run a little bit of that on my lower lash line just at the outer third. Now going into the shade Ouroboros. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that, I'm so sorry, but that is the dark forest green in the palette. And again, just focusing that at the outer corners of our eyes, just using the stamping motion first and then circular motions to get that blended out. I'm going to focus this a little bit like lower and more concentrated at the outer third, since this is the darkest shadow. So I'm also going to take that same shade on a defining brush this time and press that up against my bottom waterline, only at the outer third once again. And now taking the shade Golden Bridge, I'm going to place that right at the center of my eyes, blending that up into my crease. I kind of want to just diffuse this all over because it's a really beautiful, like dirty, mossy olive green, and it's so pretty. It has the most beautiful micro glitters in here. I love it. So just placing that right at the center where all of the light is going to catch. Now I'm going to take the shade Fluorescent, and I'm going to use that at the inner third of my lid space, and I'm going to bring that into my inner corners as well, at the inner third of my lower lash line as well, just to highlight this inner corner region. But now going ahead and taking my brown liquid liner to create the base of my wing, of course, I'm going to go back into the shade Suit, which is that dark purple again, and I'm going to use that to smudge out my wing. I really like this shadow to smudge out my wing. And then I'll just be popping on my false lashes. Today I'm wearing the style Love and Light from House of Lashes. Alright guys, so this is the final look completed. Of course, again, had to do something green because how could you not with this palette? But I really love how this look turned out. I love playing with green eyeshadows. It's one of my favorite colors to play with, and I think this look is just absolutely beautiful. It's so mesmerizing with all of those micro glitters in there. So I really love how this look turned out, and I hope you guys like it too. Alright guys, so those are my 3 looks. What do you guys think? Let me know your favorite down below in the comments. I would love to know. Let me know what you guys think of this collab. Are you going to be picking it up? If you are, I would recommend setting an alarm. I think this collab is going to do so well. But if you guys did enjoy today's video and if you found it helpful, if you could give the video a thumbs up for me, I'd appreciate it so much. But that is going to conclude today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching as always. I love you so much, and I'll go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye!